Let me share. I think we should get started now. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Okay, let's begin with Mangalachara. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Chaitanya-manoਭीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं कदामह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुं श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरो वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमो ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिसिद्धान्त सरस्वती इति नामिने श्रीवार्षभानिभि देवी दयिताय कृपाब्धये कृष्ण संबंध विज्ञान दायिने प्रभवे नमः माधुर्यो जल प्रेमाढ्य श्री रूपानुगा भक्ति श्री गौर करुणा शक्ति विग्रहाय नमोस्तुते नमस्ते गौरवाणी श्रीमूर्तये दीनतारिणे रूपानुगा विरुद्ध अपसिद्धांत द्वांतहारिणे नमो गौर किशोराय साक्षाद वैराग्य मूर्तये विप्रलंब रसाम्बोधे पादाम्बुजाय ते नमः नमो भक्ति विनोदाय सच्चिदानंद नामिने गौरशक्ति स्वरूपाय गौरशक्ति स्वरूपाय गौरवीर्भाय ते नमः वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरातिसे नमः पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्त्याकं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिकांत राधाकांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तविंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Your my dear duties for your valuable association. So we'll continue to study from Srimad Bhagavatam. We are reading chapter number 16, where we are saying. So before we begin, I just want to say that every human being is indebted to society. So I am also one of that, and I'm in that capacity. I'm trying to serve in my humble capacity that I have so that it pleases our Guru and Sri Radha and Krishna. With that, I would also like to pay my obeisances. And before that, I want to tell that whatever that we're going to discuss, it from Srila Prabhupada's purport, mainly from Srila Prabhupada's purport. So the Acharya's commentary that we have, and the classes that I listen to, from that I'm going to speak. So whatever good that you find in those discussion, it is all because of those, and may all glories go to all the acharyas. And if there is any error, any mistake that you find, it will be mine. So please forgive me, and I seek all your blessings and prayers so that right word come at the right time, which is pleasing to Sri Guru, Hari, and all the Vaishnavas. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I would like to pay my obeisances to all the advanced devotees I listen to, take inspiration from them. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Hare Krishna. So we are going to read from discuss from chapter number 16 how Parishit Maharaj receives the age of Kali. Okay, so we have read till verse number 16, 17 last time. So we are going to start from verse number 18. So let's understand what is there in the verse number 17. So before that, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om
Om
Namo
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om
Om
Namo
Namo Bhagavate
Deva
Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om
Om
Namo
Namo Bhagavate
Deva
Vasudevaya.
Hare Krishna. So let us recite these words where we stop. So we'll just read these words quickly and go deeper into the next verses. So this is like a Bhagavad Gita. Anybody would like to recite these words? Very simple, easy to recite.
I can go, Prabhu.
Yes, please go ahead, Vilas Prabhu.
1.16.17.
Yes.
Tasayavam Vartamanasya Pudavesham Vritim Anvaham Nati Dure Kilascharayam Yad Asita Nibodhame. Translation. Now you may hear from me of what happened while Maharaj Pariksit was passing his days, hearing of the good occupations of his forefathers and being absorbed in thought of them. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So here, now Parishit Maharaj is going out. We just heard in the previous verses that he is such a king, he is such a powerful, but he never used those power to overpower the weak kings. Never of that sort. No, he did not have any expansion in his mind. He's anyway the king of the whole world, but he never wanted to overpower that. He wanted to lead very peaceful, peaceful way, and he's just taking a round of this his state where he is living and saying what's going on. In the earlier days, the king used to do this. They will go in disguise, just to see the pulse of the citizens and what they feel about his kingdom. He will also put like some questions in when there's a small gathering. The king himself will come in a disguise and put some question. What do you think of this? King, how is it? I mean, I think he's not so great, isn't it? Like that, he will put, and then say, no, no, what are you talking? Oh, he is such a wonderful. He does this, does that, those kind of things. He gets the real feedback from the people on the ground, the absolutely grassroots level. So that's what he does. So this is very it will be like that. So this is how the Parishit Maharaj is now venturing out. So what happens now? Let's go and go deeper into this. Okay. So this is where we had stopped last time. Now we'll go to the next verses. Okay. So now Dharma is meeting Dharani. Dharma is here the representative of Dharma is given as a bull, and Dharani means the Mother Earth, is a representative as a cow. Now, people may say, how is this bull and cow? How do we understand that? In fact, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes in his commentary, these are very subtle things, which Parikshit Maharaj was able to see. But normal human being won't be able to see that. Because he was elevated, he was very pious and very spiritually advanced. He was able to see the bull and the cow as a representative of earth, Dharma and the earth respectively. So we can see that he was so advanced, Vishwanath Chakravarti writing in his commentary, right? So we can understand how advanced Parishit Maharaj was. But let's see, now the discussion is happening between Dharma and Dharani, means the bull and the cow, both are now discussing. Okay. So last time we saw in the previous chapters where Arjun comes and Yudhishthira Maharaj is asking so many questions. Why are you anxious? What happened? These, that, so many things he's asking. Now we'll see the same pattern happening here. When the bull sees the cow, they are asking questions each other. So we can see all our scriptures are always based on question answer, question answer. You ask question, you get response, and then further question, further response. So you go deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. This is how our scriptures are. So let's read this. This is also like a Bhagavad Gita. Anybody would like to recite? If not, I can recite. Go on.
I can try, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Bhagavad Gita, so please go ahead and learn more, Prabhu.
Dharma uvacha dharma padaikena charan vichayam upalabhya gam prichati smarsu vadanam vivatsam iva mataram. Translation: the personality of religious principles Dharma was wandering about in the form of a bull, and he met the personality of earth in the form of a cow, who appeared to grieve like a mother who had lost her child. She had tears in her eyes, and the beauty of her body was lost. Thus, Dharma questioned the earth as follows. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So this is the scene. Just think about this scene, dear devotees. A cow has come, and she is so much aggrieved. And what Dharma, the bull in a form of Dharma, is seeing that she is so much, and how she was looking as like a mother who has lost her child. Dear devotees, the cow and the calf, they have so much love. So intense, this love is too much. It's very intense love. Therefore, based on that love, the love between mother and child is called Vatsalya. See, the calf is called Vatsa. You know, if you see in the Krishna Lila, there's a demon called Vatsasur comes. Vatsasur, he comes as a calf, small calf, to play with the Krishna and then trying to kill. So Vatsa means a calf. And from there, the word comes Vatsalya. The love of cow has for Vatsa is very high, very, very high. You know, in fact, one incident happened in India, and there are many such things would have happened in past as well. Once, you know, a bus was going through a street in India. And, in India, the cows and calves, they just wander around, without any regulations for whatever reason. So this bus driver did not see or whatever. He just hit the calf. Calf died, and cow came there and saw, and she was in so much agony that whenever the bus passes from there, any bus, she would just go in front of it and stop. She will not allow bus to go. He says, "You had killed my child, my calf. I will not." Then she has to be passive and moved out. Again, she will come whenever the bus comes. But she has so much love for the calf. That's why the motherly love for the children is called Vatsalya. In English, there is only one word, love. But in Sanskrit, there are many layers of love. So it's called Vatsalya. You see, the parental love is called Vatsalya Bhav. We talk about that Vatsalya Bhav. Krishna can be served in a Vatsalya Bhav. So this coming from this word, Vatsalya. So the mother who loses her child is in so much grief. So that pain that was exhibited by the representative of cow, who is a Mother Earth. So now Dharma want to ask question. So let's see, what Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport. So all the purpose and translation we are reading are from by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The bull is the emblem of the moral principles, and the cow is the representative of the earth. When the bull and cow are in joyful mood, it is to be understood that the people of the world are also in a joyful mood. Now, this is a very subtle indication that is given here, that when these specific species of animal are happy, that means general populace is also very happy. The reason is that the bull helps production of grains in the agricultural field, and the cow delivers milk, the miracle of aggregated food values. The human society, therefore, maintains these two important animals very carefully so that they can wander anywhere in cheerfulness. So earlier, these cows and calves and bulls and all, they will move, graze very peacefully, no problem at all. In my childhood, I used to take cows of my grandfather, and we'll go and graze. The morning we'll go and come back in the evening, and they will just graze peacefully. It was such a nice scene to see. Now I understand how nice those things were when we read this. At that time, I enjoyed as a boy, young child, that how the cows are eating, drinking, and all those things. But now we understand how important, because if they are happy, everybody else remains happy. All the humanity will be happy. But what's happening in Kali Yuga? Look at this, Prabhupada writes. But at the present moment, in the age of Kali, both the bull and cow are now being slaughtered and eaten up as foodstuff by a class of men who do not know the Brahminical culture. It is Kali Yuga in which the organized slaughter is happening. Organized. That day we saw that clock, right? Animal clock. We see how many animals are being killed every day. It's
Yes.
huge.
Yes,
But
Prabhu.
if we see that, we'll just feel, what is this? They are killed every moment. As we speak, by the time the end of class is over, there'll be thousands of animals who have been slaughtered by the time. So we can imagine how cruel this world has become, that they are organized. In earlier days, it was not like organized. If you want to eat, there's an injunction in the scripture also, that if you want to eat, no problem, you can. You should do it only once a month, basically on the no moon day or Amavasya, no moon day. You can go in the midnight, hunt an animal on your own, and tell that animal that, okay, I'm going to eat you for pleasure of my tongue. In my next birth, you can eat me, and then you eat that. That is how it was allowed. It is not like organized slaughter. It's available in a nice platter. You just bring ready-made item in from a Costco, from a Kroger or Walmart, and just heat it up and eat. It was not like that, right? But unfortunately, it has become like that. It is so bad that nobody is even paying attention to this cruelty. So Prabhupada writes further that the bull and the cow can be protected for the good of all human society simply by spreading of Brahminical culture as the topmost perfection of all culture affairs. By advancement of such culture, the moral of society is properly maintained, and so peace and prosperity are also maintained without extraneous effort. Right now, so much efforts are being spent. People are spending billions and trillions of dollars in military expenses to maintain peace. But is it bringing peace? No, it is increasing violence. War are happening.
Violence.
So what's the point? But if you just maintain cows, Prabhupada's point are so profound. If you just maintain cows, take care of them, you don't need to do all this thing. People are automatically become pious. Everywhere there will be Ram Rajya. But unfortunately, that's what is happening. People are putting extra effort, external effort to guard the borders. But that's not required. When Brahminical culture deteriorates, the cow and bull are mistreated. And that's what we see now. It's happening. And the resultant actions are prominent by the following symptoms. So now what are the symptoms? We will see. So this is the question now, when Dharma met Dharani, he's asking this question. So let's see what are the questions. Okay, text number 19. Let's go to 19. So what are you lamenting for? Now the questions are coming. Like we saw, Yudhishthira Maharaj was asking questions to Arjun. Now Dharma is a bull, is asking questions to the Dharani, which is the Mother Earth. So let's recite this verse. Who wants to go over this? This is like a Agre Kuruna Matapandavana kind of thing.
I can go.
Yes, please go ahead, Beta. Rishit.
Kachid bhadre namayam namayam atmanaste
Yes.
yathaisi milyate shanmukhena alakshye bhaviti mat antarathim dure padum shochasi kanchakamba.
Very nice.
Translation. Dharma, in the form of a bull, asked, Madam, are you not hale and hearty? Why are you covered with the shadow of grief? It appears by your face that you've become black. Are you suffering from some internal disease, or are you thinking of some relative who's away in a distant place? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Rishit. So this is a very wonderful point which is being mentioned. Let's discuss. Prabhupada purport is very nice here, and we'll understand what is being told by this, right? So whenever we meet someone, what we say, how are you? Are you all okay? All good? Prabhuji, Mataji, are you all fine? Like that. We always should ask the goodwill or the well-being of our devotees or Vaishnavas whenever we meet. This is a etiquette, right? Now, Prabhupada writes in the purport, the people of the world in this age of Kali are always full of anxieties. Anybody who does not have anxiety, please raise your hand. Okay. We're all having some or other type of anxiety, right? Either it is health, financial, relationship, sadhana is not happening, whatever. All anxiety, everybody is having some or other anxiety for sure. Everyone is diseased with some kind of ailment. Everybody have had some kind of disease all the time. From the very face of the people of this age, one can find out the index of the mind. Everyone feels the absence of his relative who is away from home. The particular symptom of the age of Kali is that no family is now blessed to live together. Now we may think, oh, we are living with our children and all together. Why Prabhupada is writing like this? Prabhupada is not talking about the nuclear family. We are living in nuclear family, means husband, wife, and children. That's it. That is called nuclear family. Earlier days, in earlier yugas, or even before many years ago, within Kali Yuga also, people used to live together. Our parents will live there, our uncle will be next door, or they'll be in the same home. Everything was there. And they will have wonderful time. Nowadays, everybody lives in a big home, but they hardly meet for lunch or dinner. Nobody can have fixed, okay, let's have breakfast together. No, I'm having this call, I'm having this meeting, a child is going to school. Where's the time to sit together and have lunch? We should ask ourselves, when was the last time we had the meals together as a family and talk something? This is very important. Now, there are two things which are discussed. Prabhupada writes in the further that to earn the livelihood, the father lives at a far place away from the son, or the wife lives far away from husband, and so on. This is a reality of today's world. Wife is working. I see so many, our company, the corporate executives, they keep traveling. Husband is traveling somewhere, wife is traveling somewhere, children are at home, and everybody meets sometime on a weekend. And what they do, because we have never meet in the week, let's go out, eat in restaurant, let's go and watch movie, let's go and watch some football game. And that's the time they spend. But is that the real life? No, that's not. Now here there are two types of distance are discussed. One is definitely the distance of physical distance. What is the other distance which is not mentioned, but it is there within the family? What other distance is spoken here? Anybody can guess?
um, not being hostile or not being in good relationship.
Yes, kind of. Yes, you're going there. So basically, distance of heart is also very
Mental
far.
distance.
Physical is there, but our emotional distance. We are living the same under the same roof, but we cannot, you know, tolerate the presence of other person. So that's also distance. We are living physically. Oh, he is sitting here, but wife is sitting in some other room. Husband is having. That's why here, here every room has a TV, because if you get bored and you fight, you have a fight, then at least you go and sit in room. The TV is there. In earlier days, you had one TV, just one TV in the room, and everybody has to come and sit, and only one person will have control, or there was no control at that time, and everybody will watch the same program. But now you have hundreds of channels, and TVs are everywhere. So both the type of distance are being discussed. One physical, and second emotional. Emotional distance is more dangerous because we are living together. We feel we are there, but actually we are not there. You see, at least in a physical distance, when you meet, you will have a lot of joy and all that. Here you are, every day you are meeting, but there is no love. So that distance is also being spoken by Shri. And this is not this is a symptom of Kali Yuga. So this is going to increase day by day. If you see nowadays, the earlier the marriage would last for many years. There was nothing called divorce at the time. Now we see divorce are happening. There are lawyers who can help you with divorce. So it has become a profession to get you divorced and make money. See, this is all Kali Yuga symptom. All Kali Yuga symptom, and this is going to increase as the Kali Yuga progresses. And then Prabhupada says there are suffering from internal diseases, separation from those near and dear, and anxieties of maintaining the status quo. Always there. These are but some important factors which make the people of this age always unhappy. See, everybody is unhappy because of this thing. No good relationship. People are not able to maintain good relationship with each other, and it causes all these problems. Right. So, what are the next question? Let's see. So the questions are now coming. Now Dharma has just asked, how are you and all that. In the next verse number 20, we'll see what are the questions that are coming. Okay. So this will also go the similar way. Govinda Damodar Madhaveti. Anybody want to go? Yes, please go ahead.
Paderanyunam shochashimaikapadam atmanamava vrashaler bhoksha manam aho suradinrita yagnya bhagan praja utsvan magavatya avirshati. Translation: I have lost my 3 legs and I am now standing on one only. Are you lamenting for my state of existence, or are you in great anxiety because henceforward the unlawful meat eaters will exploit you? Or are you in a sorry plight because the demigods are now bereft of their share of sacrificial offerings, because no sacrifices are being performed at present? Or are you grieving for living beings because of their sufferings due to famine and drought? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So Prabhu has already given these details,
Yeah.
what things are
How
happening
accurate
in.
it is, Prabhu.
Yes, all these are happening in Kali Yuga. We can see all this. Prabhupada wrote translation 57, 50, 60 years ago, but these were spoken 5,000 years ago. And we can see the symptom are right here. We can see all this is there. There's nothing, that's why the Bhagavatam, the Shastra is so true. And therefore, we should always take shelter to Bhagavatam or our scriptures whenever we have some doubts in our mind, because they will reveal the right information with us, give us a true picture like a mirror. So Prabhupada writes that with the progress of age of Kali, so what are the 4 things that are there in the US which will slowly deteriorate? Anybody knows? There are 4 things.
Oh,
Dharma. What are the 4 legs of Dharma, for example?
Chanting.
Sorry?
Chanting.
No, 4 legs of Dharma. I'm talking about the bull whose 3 legs were cut. And now the 1 leg, standing on 1 leg. So what are those 4 legs represents?
morality is one, right?
Okay, truthfulness is 1. Cleanliness, Mata is saying, okay, anybody else? Cleanliness, truthfulness, there are 2 more.
Punctuality.
Sorry?
Punctuality.
No. Punctuality is not dharma, but it is good to carry. It's good to have, but it doesn't fall under dharma.
Morality?
What do you define by morality? Let's say.
Like doing the right thing according to religion or dharma, right?
Austerity.
Yes, austerities. Correct. Austerity is very good. Yes, austerity. So austerity, cleanliness,
truthfulness and compassion.
Compassion. Yes, got it. Everybody got it. Very nice. Collectively, we have to solve the problem. Don't.
And so by austerity, do you mean being the ability to to control your senses
Yes, all
that
this.
you
Yes,
can
yes,
fast or you can.
all this.
Okay.
Austerity means all kind of austerity. Like we can fast, austerity means we can wake up early in the morning and chant. We can do our sadhana, we can do all the yoga. These are all austerities. Those are performed in Satyuga like anything. They would do austerities.
Hmm.
But as deterioration happens, people hardly can do any austerity. If you have to fast one day in a 15 days, it becomes so difficult, right? How many people fast on one day? Very, very small number. So this is slowly deteriorating. So we have a discussion coming up later. So we'll go more deeper into that. But Prabhupada writes in the purport that with the progress of the age of Kali, four things, particularly namely the duration of life, mercy, the power of recollection, and moral or religious principles will gradually diminish. It will go away. We will not be able to remember things. If somebody asks, what did you eat 1 week ago on this day? Will we remember? No, we won't. Sometimes we forget what we did, 2 days ago, because we don't have that memory. We don't do with the consciousness what we are doing. We just do as a mechanical activity. Wake up in the morning, do our normal activity, go to office, come back, do this, do this. Where's the time to actually absorb into what we are doing? We remember things which we do with a lot of love and we absorb ourselves. That's the thing we remember. Otherwise, what else? It's all mechanical. Nothing we cannot remember. So that's what Prabhupada thinks. All this is going to go away. Power of recollection, we cannot remember. Moral or religious, as Robert Poe was mentioning. Duration of life is reducing. Mercy, compassion is gone. Nobody can do this. So these are all going to diminish. Since dharma or principle of religion would be lost in the proportion of 3 out of 4, the symbolic bull was standing on one leg only on one leg. Only on one leg. Look at this. So only one leg. Which one is left? Do you know from this 4? Compassion, truthfulness, moral, austerity, and cleanliness. Which one is pending? Which one is still there in Kali Yuga?
Compassion?
Truthfulness, yes. Truthfulness is still there. When you go and return something in Costco, they will accept you. Okay, give it to me. I'll take it. You have the receipt, no problem. Compassion is already gone because we can see organized slaughterhouses are there. So compassion is no longer there. Cleanliness, people don't even wash themselves, right? They wake up, they dry clean themselves, not even taking proper bath. I was told, when I came here, they were telling me that, in Western countries, there are board in the restaurants, washrooms. They say employees must wash their hands. I said, what do you mean by employees? It is for everybody. Why it is only for employees? Because that means that they don't, after using the bathroom, they don't even wash their hands. They just come and start working in the kitchen. So that's why there are boards that employee must wash their hands. I was like, wow, this is like very basic thing, right? You go to and use your washroom, you must clean yourself, but people don't do. In fact, when you go to the toilet, you must take full bath, head to toe. That bath is recommended by scripture. It is how it is. That's the way the cleanliness should be maintained. But how many people even know this? Right? People don't know. They cannot even follow. So that is also gone. And austerity that we discussed, people cannot fast. So all these 3 are gone. Only a little bit of truthfulness is there. We trust each other. So that's why we are here. We are talking to each other. We be friend with one another. So that is still there. That is the only thing which is left in Kali Yuga. But as Kali Yuga progress, even that will diminish. It will go little by little and go away completely. And everything when goes away, then the annihilation will happen. Kalki will come. That's it. The new Yuga has to begin after that. But just in 5,000 years, so much degradation happened, dear devotees. Just 5,000 years. So you can imagine what will happen in the future. So Prabhupada writes here in the purport, when the 3/4 of the population of the whole world becomes irreligious, the situation is converted into hell for the animals, which is already happening. You can see how the animals are being slaughtered, anything. It is very dangerous. In the age of Kali, godless civilization will create so many so-called religious societies in which the personality of Godhead will be directly or indirectly defied, which is already see that so those things are happening. Now, many points are there. I will go to some of the important points here, but please read the purport as you get time. Prabhupada writes that there are people who keep eating, here Prabhupada writes, the first class faithful men are the Vaishnavas and the Brahmanas, then the Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudras, and then Malechas, the Yavanas, and at last Chandalas. So there are categories of people who goes so lower in that. And who are the Chandalas?
Dog eaters.
Dog eaters. Yes, and dog eater, that too without discrimination. No discrimination at all. So Prabhupada writes, but it's a very important point to understand. This is what the beauty of Srila Prabhupada's purport. It gives more depth into a simple statement saying dog eaters are chandalas. You can see what Prabhupada writes here. All the above terms mentioned in the Vedic literatures are never meant for any particular community or birth. We are not directly telling this community, these people, this country. No. They are different qualification of human being in general. There is no question of birthright or community. One can acquire the respective qualification by one's own effort, and thus the son of Vaishnava can become Mlecha, or the son of Chandala can become more than a Brahmana, all in the terms of the association and intimate relation with the Supreme Lord. So, dear devotee, here the importance of association is being mentioned. Very, very important point about association. We should choose our association very wisely. It is better not to associate just because I need a company to people who are not favorable. We should be very careful. We should guard ourselves with this, because these are like, they can just uproot our bhakti, which is like a small plant, a baby plant, which is just growing. Just because we are in connected in this bhakti for 1 year, 10 years and all that, don't think that we are become very strong. No. Even big stalwarts who've been doing bhakti for many, many years, decades, just little bit of ignorance, a little bit of carelessness, and bhakti is finished. So we have to be very careful. Therefore, Prabhupada gives a very important point on association. Then Prabhupada further writes, the meat eaters are generally called mlechas, but all meat eaters are not mlechas. This is the example which I gave you, that when somebody wants to eat meat, they can go into the jungle at the no moon day, in the no moon night, and kill animal and tell the animal that I'm going to eat now, but next life you can eat me, and then they can do it. But unfortunately, in Kali Yuga, this is not happening. It's a very, very sad state. The people in this age will not perform any sacrifice. How many yajnas we see happening? In a temple, when we do Narsimha Yajna, Gita Yajna, those time Yajna happen. Otherwise, general public, nobody does any Yajna. But earlier days, Yajna was happening every day. In the morning, when the sunrise happens, in the evening, when the sunset happens. There's something called Agnihotra that people used to do at the time. Nowadays, few people do, but not everybody knows about it. And where is the space to do Yajna? People live in such a small homes. Even if you have big home, there is no space to do Yajna. The Mlechas population will care very little for performances of sacrifice, although performance of sacrifice is essential for person who are materially engaged in sense enjoyment. In the Bhagavad Gita, performance of sacrifice is strongly recommended. So Prabhupada says 3 things we should not stop. As a devotee, we should do this: yajna, dan, and tapa. We should do yajna, like sacrifice. Dan means donation, charity, and tapa, austerity. We should not stop doing this. All the devotees must follow this. This is important. And what is the best yajna in this Kali Yuga?
Chant.
Harinam.
Harinam Sankirtan.
Yes. So that yajna, that's what we should do chanting. We cannot do, we can do Ashwamedha yajna, Rajasu yajna, that's not possible. So which yajna even Rishit can do? Rishit say, yeah, I'm doing yajna. Oh, I'm chanting. So like that. So anybody can do. Therefore, Prabhupada said these three things should not be stopped. We should give charity, like we will have a Janmashtami which will come. We have Ram Navami festival coming up day after tomorrow. So we can offer some charity on those auspicious days, right? And tapa we do, wake up in the Brahma Muhurta and chant, which is tapa for us. When the Ram Navami happens, we chant till sunset. That means it's a tapa. So we do tapa like that. Every Ekadashi we fast. These are all tapa, examples of tapa. So we can do yajna, dan, tapa, all these three are possible, and we should do that as a Vaishnava. We all must practice in whatever capacity that we can. So it's a long purport, but I will just go to the last paragraph of this, where Prabhupada says that Lord Chaitanya, however, has recommended only the yajna or sacrifice called Sankirtan yajna, no other sacrifice. This yajna we should do. The chanting of Hare Krishna, in which everyone can take part. You see, everyone can take part. Thus, both devotees and fruitive workers can derive equal benefit from the performance of Sankirtan Yajna. Even fruitive workers, they can also chant. They say, I want this. Okay, no problem, but at least you chant. So they can chant and say, Krishna, if you are happy, give me Mercedes. If you are happy, give me $1 million. Yeah, if it is pleasing to create. If it is favorable for your bhakti, Krishna will give that. But why ask for this broken piece of glass, as Guru Maharaj says? We should ask for something bigger. Okay. So let's see what are the next questions which are coming up. So further questions are coming in the verse number 21. Okay, this is also in the similar way. Anybody would like to recite? Yeah.
वाचं देवी ब्रह्मकूले कुकर्म अब्राह्मणे राजकूले कुलाग्रयामि. Translation. Are you feeling compassion for the unhappy women and children who are left foreign by unscrupulous person? Or are you unhappy because the goddess of learning is being handled by Brahmanas, addicted to act against the principle of religion? Or are you sorry to see that the Brahmanas have taken shelter of administrative families that do not respect Brahminical culture? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So now the quiz is coming. So pay attention, everyone. Okay. So in purport, Srila Prabhupada writes, and that's where the quiz will come. In the age of Kali, the woman and the children, along with Brahmanas and cows, will be grossly neglected and left unprotected. Okay. So now we in the previous verse we read about the Chatur Yuga. So let's see, Yuga cycle, right? So this is what is Tapa, Saucham, Daya, Satyam. These are the four things, principles which exist in every Yuga. Tapa means austerity, Shaucham means cleanliness, Daya means compassion, Satya means truthfulness. So these four things are there in every Yuga. So what happens in Satyuga? All principles are there. Influence of religious principle. It means all these four are in a high prominence. It doesn't mean there won't be anything of irreligious principle. There will be little bit, but it is not very high. Okay. So this is how it is in Satyuga. How many? 1.7 million years. Now comes Treta Yuga. So 1/4 is gone. Right? So this is how the influence of Kali Yuga is happening. It is reducing in number of years, but the influence of irreligious principle is increasing. You can see this is happening. Dwapar, it has increased more. In Kali, it is like this right now. And when this whole thing become red, then Kali Yuga is over. Then the Kali will come and it will finish all this thing. So we can see how Kali Yuga is progressing and how the irreligious activities are also increasing as the Kali Yuga goes. From Satyuga to Kali Yuga, you can see this very clear indication, which is the degradation of the consciousness, degradation of moral values, and humans are becoming like animals. Humans are becoming no discrimination. That's what is happening here. Okay, so now from the first sentence that we read in the purport, the quiz is coming. Purport in the purport, I'll just read the purport again. In the age of Kali, the woman and the children, along with Brahmins and cow, will be grossly neglected and left unprotected. Now, this was a question that Rishikesh Prabhu also asked in one of the class, and we have the response here also, along with this is additional to what I had discussed at the Rishikesh Prabhu. Then we saw that, hey, Kali Yuga only these symptoms are happening, but we saw in Mahabharata also this happened, all those things, right? So how do you reconcile that? So we'll have answer to that also. Okay, so please tell me, abuse of women in the previous yugas.
Guns like killing the children of.
No, it is woman.
Oh,
Draupadi, bro.
Draupadi, yes. But Rishit, you are on the right track. What happened before that?
Oh, Sitaram.
No, Sitaram, yes, that's also correct. That's Mother Sita is right, Draupadi is right, but Rishit, I want to come to you. You are saying about the Kamsa killing the sons of Devaki. What was Kamsa doing before killing the sons of Devaki? Who he was trying to kill?
Sister.
Devaki.
Yeah, so you are on the right track. Devaki. So Devaki was abused, yes. Own sister. Can you imagine? Okay. Yeah, what else? Any other? Very unusual thing is there, but I doubt anybody will be able to collect that. Yeah, Ahalya. Ahalya was also abused. Indra took a form of Gautam Rishi. So that is there. There is one more.
Ravan abusing Vedavati. Vedavati.
No, those are all there, but I'm talking about one specific. Let's talk from the Brahma's grandson.
Manu.
Suniti, yes. Suniti. So Suniti, so here are the pictures. So this is a Suniti who was constantly neglected by her husband, right? So she become see, when you don't get love, the compassion from your husband, that means you are completely neglected. So she was like abused in a way, right? So she was abused, and therefore her son was also abused. Then Ravan, Mother Sita was kidnapped, and that was then Devaki. That is what Rishit you were talking about. Devaki was Kamsa was trying to kill Devaki, and then Draupadi. Now, at that time, dear, you just look at this. These are all very, one of the incident. But when that happened, what happened? The war happened. The big thing, war. It's not like a simple. When Mother Sita was kidnapped, then big war. Whole Ramayana was written because Mother Sita was there, and then Lord Ram has to fight and kill Draupadi. What happened? Same thing. Whole Mahabharata happened because of that. So we can see that abuse was there in those yugas as well, but in a very small quantity, because influence will always be there of the some percent will be there, and therefore this will happen. But it is not like a grossly whole society was like that, not like that. But when that happened, it became a big issue. Now today, if you see today's world, so many women are being molested in office, on the streets. But is the society making any noise? I have no connection. Oh, maybe I have no connection. It's okay. Somebody killed, murder, rape. What is there? We just keep reading, and it's just one of the news. If our heart does not even churn when we read this. That's a symptom of Kali Yuga. That abuse is happening next door, and we are mute spectator doing nothing about it. So that's what is happening. Yes, Rishi, do you have a question, brother?
Yeah, Prabhuji, last class you mentioned about pulling the hair of a woman, like in Draupadi Mataji's case, like they pulled her hair and the whole dynasty got wiped out.
Correct.
Yes.
Exactly. Very true. That's what we can see. So this is a symptom in those times. But now, if this happens, nobody bothers. Nobody bothers. Okay. Now next quiz coming up. Question: abuse of children in previous yugas.
Killing of Devaki's children.
Yes, correct. That's right. Now you got it
Prahlad
right.
Maharaj.
April, yeah.
Prahlad Maharaj, yes, Dhruv Maharaj. What else?
Parikshit Maharaj.
Parikshit Maharaj was trying to be murdered. Yes. Okay. What else?
Krishna.
Huh?
Krishna. They kept trying to kill Krishna.
Krishna, yes, Krishna was always, Bhagavan is doing Leela. What else? There is one big abuse which has happened. Try to recall. From Mahabharata. Okay, I'll give the hint, Mahabharata.
Ashwatthama killing the
Pandavas.
Pandava sons.
Yes, I think Rishit was going on the same track. Yes, thank you. Yes, Rishikesh, same thing. All the Pandavas, they were killed in the sleep. So these are the abuses that happened even in the previous Yuga, not just in Kali Yuga, this is happening. But in this Yuga, it is happening even more frequently. Child abuse is rampant in this Yuga. One incident happened when I was back in India at the time. One small girl, maybe 4 or 5 years old, she was going from, so there was an elevator and there is an old age person about 75, 80, around that age. He got into the lift and the child was going down to play just from third floor to first floor, 2 floors. The person tried to abuse the child. And just 3, 4 years old child. Now this is a Kali Yuga. Such a horrible situation. So what to speak of all these things? These are all one of the incidents, but even that happened, it just subsides automatically. It's okay, it happened, it's a mistake, forgive him, he's an old person, all these things. But in Kali Yuga, it is rampant. Nobody has compassion, nobody talks about it, nobody wants to even discuss these things. Even if the discussion is more superficial, just to advertise that, okay, I have a compassion, I am in favor of child protection, all those things. But there are institutes, they try to do child protection in the name of that. They are already doing the child abuse.
Mm.
So this is a problem of Kali Yuga. You see? So Rishikesh Prabhu, I hope this helps in reconciling the question that you had last time.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, let's move on to next verse. So further, they're still asking questions. Are you still lamenting? Okay, what are those questions? Let's see. All right, who wants to recite this verse? Same type of melody.
Huh? No? Correct?
Verse number 22. Nobody? Okay.
Check that.
I can read, Prabhu.
Yes, please go ahead, Rishikesh.
Kim Kshatrabandhun Kalinopastrastan Rashtrani Vataiviropitani Itastato Vashanapanavasah Nana Gayanmukha Jivalokam. The so-called administrators are now bewildered by the influence of this age of Kali, and thus they have put all state affairs into disorder. Are you now lamenting this disorder? Now the general populace does not follow the rules and regulations for eating, sleeping, drinking, and mating, etc., and they are inclined to perform such anywhere and everywhere. Are you unhappy because of this? Correct.
Thank you, Rishikesh. So here, what are the 4 things which are being spoken about?
Eating, sleeping, drinking, mating.
Correct. So there is a beautiful shloka which comes in. Hitopadesh. He says, Ahara nitra bhayamaitunam cha samanyametat pashubhi. धर्मो तेषामधिको विशेषो धर्मे भी samana. So this is how it is. Yes, Bilasul, can you please read translation?
Yeah, Prabhu. Both animals and men share the activities of eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. But the special property of the humans is that they are able to engage in spiritual life. Therefore, without spiritual life, humans are on the level of animals. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So these things are done by all. Animals also does this. Humans also do this. There is no difference between them. Everybody is doing little differently, but doesn't matter, right? Dog may be sleeping under a car in India, and we are sleeping in a nice air-conditioned home. Doesn't matter. Everybody is sleeping. We have a sophisticated weapons to protect ourselves. Animals have their own claws and jaws and teeth and all that to protect themselves. And that's fine. Eating, they also eat. And we also eat. We might be eating something which is opulent, but they eat and they like it. What they eat, they test, and that's why they eat. So it's not that, oh, they are not eating pizza, that means they don't know what is their life. Their life is wasted. No. What they eat, they enjoy. So they are happy. And they also procreate babies. We also do that. This is all done by everyone. Then what's the difference between them and us? The only difference that is this, that we have to do this, dear devotees. If you don't do this, then we are not there. Eating, sleeping, mating, all this is happening. If you don't do understanding God, the humans, animals cannot, but we can. And therefore, this is the human life, dear devotee. We should not let go the human word West. If you are doing, if you're not trying to understand who the God is, where is he, what is my relation with him, how can I meet him, how can I see him, if you're not having this inquisitiveness, and if you're not putting any effort towards that, we are just like animals, nothing more than that. This is what we are doing. If you are not doing that, that means we are no different than animals. We may be walking on a 2 legs, they may be doing on a 4 legs, but no difference at all. So therefore, it's a wake-up call for everyone, that including all the society, people should understand that my human birth is for self-realization. I should know why am I here? What's the purpose of my life? But unfortunately, people just do these 4 activity and they are happy with that. Just to eat in a nice restaurant, to spend a lot of money, they want to earn more money. Just because they want to sleep in a very wonderful hotel, in some Switzerland, they will have to spend a lot of money. Sometimes they want to go on a cruise and say, okay, I went on a cruise on a vacation, and for that I have to earn money. But just for these, what is required? You don't have to put too much efforts. It just requires some discipline. Some discipline is required and some personal effort from our side to make sure that we understand who God is. What is my relation with Krishna? It's so important. But except this, everybody else is doing this 4 thing. Everybody else. Therefore, I was in one of the class and he says, we are living in a forest. It might be Toronto, but it's a forest because people do only these 4 things, nothing else. So it's a forest where animals live. Here the people live and they do all these 4. So what's the difference? It's a forest. So therefore we should not neglect our human birth, and we should try to put our 100% into our life and see how can we become Krishna conscious. How can I give Krishna conscious to my children? Because at least now I know I may have started late, but let my children get it from the beginning. These are the thoughts we should come in our mind, and we should set an example for our own families. So we should try to go back. We just heard so much of symptoms which are coming in Kali Yuga. It is going to further deteriorate. If this has scared us, that means it's going to become worse. So therefore, we should just wind up our business in this life and go back to God. We should think like that.
Prabhu, how come Gajendra understood God like being an animal?
Yeah, because of his past life. He was in the past life he was an Indradumna
Oh, okay.
king, and he was cursed by sage.
Augusta Mandi.
No, huh? No, sage. I'm forgetting his name. But when sage cursed him, because what happened? Uh, he did not give him a respect. He was sitting when the sage came, and he did not give respect, so he cursed him. So he became an elephant. But he had the past memory from the life. So see, Krishna gives remembrance, forgetfulness. So Krishna was able to give him because he was a pious king. So he was given that remember. So he remembered from his past life that how to worship Krishna. And at the time of most distressful time, he was able to recall. And then Krishna came to help him. So basically, these are the pastimes which happens to tell us that if we absorb ourselves into Krishna consciousness, somewhere or other it will protect us. It will save us from the biggest calamity in our lives. Therefore, we should do our bhajan very nicely.
Prabhu, in the ISKCON temple in my hometown, Durgapur, so there is a monkey. He comes every single day during the Harikatha, and he has a mystical power of differentiating the bananas which are offered to Krishna and not. So he's not going to touch any banana which is not offered to Krishna. Only the bananas that is offered to Krishna, he's going to eat. And we have many videos actually for that.
Yeah. So yes, this is again past life security which is coming in play. You know, it's always like that. If you see about there's a elephant in Guruvayur temple. Guruvayur temple upon Guruvayur in the Kerala, the temple of Lord Krishna, and there was an elephant. That
Keshavan.
Sorry, Prabhuji?
Keshavan elephant, right?
Yeah, Keshwan. So the elephant is no longer there, but that elephant was such that if you offer him anything which is not offered, he will not eat. He will not eat. The same thing what you're telling about this monkey is like that. So they are divine, they were empowered animals because of the past karma in the life. They have probably because of some mistake they have taken this form, but their attachment to Krishna is still there, regardless of their form. You see. So
And it was fasting on Ekadasi, right, Prabhu?
yes, it was fasting on Ekadashi. Can you imagine the elephant fasting on Ekadashi? And he remembers when the Ekadashi is. We forget when Ankur Prabhu has sent reminders. Tomorrow is Ekadashi, please fast from grains. Then it's, oh my God, it's tomorrow is Ekadashi. You see? But that's how it is. So we have to understand that these are mercy of Krishna that is coming on to these animals because there's some mistake that they have made. They have taken this form. But otherwise, we have to understand that if animals can do this, we should definitely be able to do that. If animal can discriminate, this is not a Krishna prasad, I won't eat. How can we just go up and pick up something from the store and start eating, opening a chips packet and start eating without even offering? Think of this, small things. But it should trigger that in our mind that I will not eat anything which is not offered to Krishna. We should make that sankalpa, saying that I am not going to touch anything which is not offered. Because if an elephant, if a monkey can discriminate between prasad and non-prasad, then we definitely can, right?
Yes. So we also eat only dry grass and insist of the sadhus.
Yeah, Mata is saying when Bharat Maharaj became a deer, because his attachment to deer, when he became a deer, he was associating only with the sadhus. He will not go in the jungle. He will associate with the sadhus who will do yagyas and all that. He will eat the remnants, whatever they've eaten, he will take the remnant, dry grass and things like that. So you can imagine how the consciousness of the deer was also preserved. You see? So when Krishna wants to bring back any soul into his abode, he will do all this, make sure that they remember and they can come back. Right? So Here, the Prabhupada's, we just talked about this, so body attachment and all that. Yeah. So humans at least have some regulations, but animals have no regulations in doing all this activity. They can do all this activity anywhere, everywhere. At least humans will have some restriction because of the intelligence that we have. But Prabhupada writes here, and so many innocent children are victims of bad association avoided by the influence of this age of Kali. We know from Srimad Bhagavatam that Ajamil, an innocent son of a Brahman, was walking down the road and saw the scene which was not to be seen. This attracted the boy, and later he became the victim of all debaucheries. From a pure Brahman, he fell down to the position of a wretched urchin, and it was all due to bad association. Bad association. This is so important, dear devotees. That's what I was telling earlier, that if you don't have association, just because to get an association, don't try to go and associate with anyone and everyone. No. Our association should be with Srimad Bhagavatam. This is my association. Madeka Bandho. This is my friend. Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj, he was managing the temple in Rajkot in Gujarat. He has written a book, very nice book. Basically, it connects everything we do in our life, all the problems that we may have in our life, with Srimad Bhagavatam. Meaning how to solve those things with Srimad Bhagavatam, stories from Srimad Bhagavatam, so that we can connect that very easily. Okay. So there, for example, a woman says, I am married to a very old person and he's very cranky and all that. Immediately he can say, he will relate, saying that, oh, you should remember the Chavan Rishi life. Chavan Rishi and Devyani. How she was supporting him, though he was old, he was very cranky, but still she'll continue to live with him. And she perfected her life. So likewise, he will connect everything with the Srimad Bhagavatam and make sure that we understand. So if we read this book, we will fall in love with Srimad Bhagavatam. Because then we have question, Prabhuji, I am doing this activity, but how do I connect with Srimad Bhagavatam? I have difficulty. Just read that book. It has got so many examples. And those pastimes which are narrated in that book are collection of his lectures given at many different places, and the devotee put together as an offering to Maharaj when he left his body at about age of 90. He lived more than 90 years, so like that, So it's a very beautiful book. So basically, it's called Srimad Bhagavatam in Practice. That's the name of the book. So it's very nice. So yeah, we can see this is how it happens, that association is so important. Because of association, Krishna's own son became a demon. Krishna's own son became a demon. Bhaumasur. His name was Bhaumasur. He's Krishna's son. Varahadev and Mother Earth's son, Bhaumasur, became a demon. And we can see that even Vibhishan, who was living in Lanka, just because he attached to the holy name and Lord Ram, he was able to survive and become a pure devotee. Then he was chanting Ram, once he was chanting Ram, Ram, Ram like that. Ravan came and said, why are you chanting Ram's name? Why are you chanting the Lord's name? He says, no, I'm not chanting Lord's name. Then what are you chanting? Oh, I'm calling you as a Ravan, Ra, and Mandodari. So Ma. So Rama, I'm calling you and my sister-in-law. So I'm taking your name because it's too long to chant Ravan Mandodari, Ravan Mandodari. So I'm taking Ram, 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 Ram. So Ravan said, okay, keep chanting. so he was chanting Ram name like that. You see? So just because he was attached to the holy name, he was able to get association of Lord Ramchandra. Yes, Rishit, you have a question with that?
Yes, Prabhuji, about the Ajamil story.
Yeah.
When he was walking in the forest and he saw that scene, his real downfall started when he saw it, but then he looked back.
Yes. Yeah. It's a very good point which is made here by Rishit, that if in this Kali Yuga, there's a possibility that we will fall on such scenes once in a while, right? Like we are browsing a mobile, you are looking at some uh, newspaper, magazine, whatever. We don't read it, but it's just in case we got in our hand, or we are browsing in the mobile, we may see this scene, right? But the thing is that if you go back and try to see, oh, what was that? That's very dangerous. Because if you see once, then we ignore it, that's fine, because it happened as an accident, right? But now, with an intention, we are going back. That is not correct. So we should definitely avoid these things. Because see how the downfall is happening, and these are examples live within. I'm telling you, if we read the stories from Srimad Bhagavatam, our daily life, daily activities, the way we live will certainly change. Because we remember those past times, we immediately recollect this is what happened because Ajamil did this, and we will not go back. Oh, this is what happened, and this happened, so I will not do that. Like immediately it will come back in our life. But because our regular reading is not there, attachment to Srimad Bhagavatam is still not very sticky. It's very difficult for us to recall such pastimes, such stories, and apply practically in our lives. But the more we absorb ourselves, the more we read, more we attach to Srimad Bhagavatam in reading every day, we will see that Bhagavatam is revealed and it will protect us from these calamities, which are happening every now and then. So, very nice point, Rishit. Thank you, Beda. So, that's what it is. So, we should definitely avoid all these things. Okay, let's go to next verse. Again, few more questions are coming. This is a very nice question. So, anybody would like to recite same meter? Otherwise, I will.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Abba is here. Abba will read.
Oh, yes, please. Abba, beta, please recite.
1 minute, Prabhu.
Hare
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, beta.
Yatvambate bhuri bharavatara कृतावतारस्य हरे दरिद्रे अन्तर्हितस्य स्मरति विशिष्टा कर्माणि निर्वाणविलाम्बितानि.
Very nice.
Akshajan.
Oh.
Akshajan, Kavish, both are here, Prabhu.
Oh, very good.
O Mother Earth, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Hari incarnated himself as Lord Sri Krishna just to unload your heavy burden. All his activities here are transcendental and they cement the path of liberation. You now bereft of his presence. You are probably now thinking of those activities and feeling sorry in their absence. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Abba and Akshaj. So here, what is the bull? The Dharma is asking to Mother Earth, which is a cow, is saying, oh, so you feel that now that Lord Krishna has gone back, are you lamenting because he has gone back? You think that he is not present, that's why you are lamenting? You are feeling sad because of that, right? Because you are now bereft of his presence. Krishna is no longer walking on your heart, so that's why you're feeling, right? So let's see what Prabhupada says in the purport. Prabhupada says the activities of the Lord include liberation, but they are more relishable than the pleasure derived from nirvana or liberation. This is what we were reading yesterday in Chaitanya Charitamrita, that this liberation is is not for us. Especially devotees, this is not what we want. We want the love of Krishna. We want service to Krishna. And that's what we want to achieve. No liberation. According to Srila Jiva Goswami and Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, the word used here is nirvana vilambitani, that which minimizes the value of liberation. To attain nirvana, liberation, one has to undergo a severe type of tapasya, austerity. But the Lord is so merciful that he incarnates to diminish the burden of the earth. So, can you tell me which incarnation came, which Lord's incarnation came to remove the burden of the earth?
Wasn't it like
Varahadev.
Bhagavatam.
One by one. Okay, but Rishit, then Rishikesh Prabhu, then Bilas Prabhu. Okay, Rishit, please go ahead.
I don't know the name, but it was like the boar. Yeah,
Okay, board is saying. Okay, Rishikesh Prabhu, what do you
Yes,
say?
in Varahadev.
Varadev. Okay, what is Bilas Prabhu saying?
Same thing, Prabhu, Bhagavatam.
Yes, Varadev
Who
came
came
to.
from nostrils of Brahma.
Yeah, it came to bring the earth back from the ocean and back on its own position. That's what he came, and to kill that. But I'm talking about when the burden of the earth increased. Who came to relieve that?
Krishna.
So Krishna came. I'm talking about Krishna's incarnation. There is one wonderful incarnation which comes in the later cantos.
Parshuram Prabhu, in 21.
No, Parshuram came not come for that. Huh? Vaman? No. I mean, he looks like a normal king. That's why we will not be able to recall his name. He's a king, name of king.
Prithu Maharaj?
Prithu Maharaj, yes. Prithu Maharaj. They will come later. We will read that. We will not go into the past time. But that's what he came to remove the burden on the earth.
Because he's turning the weight of the
Yeah.
earth.
So we have Anga to Vena to Prithu Maharaj. Like that it is there, With this whole hierarchy is there. We should read about all these three beautiful, lineage. From Anga came Vena, and Vena was very, very notorious. And he was killed by Brahmana by chanting mantras, and then churning of thighs. Then the Prithu Maharaj came. Yeah, in fact, in the verse number 21 that we were reading, there also it is mentioned, right? That if you let me go to the 21 before we go here, let me just go there first. 21. Yeah, so here is 21. Here we can see, look at this. Okay, I'm going to use this one so you can see all this. Here, Prabhupada writing it in translation. Are you sorry to see that the Brahmanas have taken shelter of administrative families that do not respect Brahminical culture? What it means that? This means that the Brahmanas, just to earn the livelihood, they have given up their Brahminical culture and they have just fallen to the administrators who are not in Brahminical culture, and they will do whatever they tell. For example, King Vena was like this. He was very impious. He stopped all the yagyas, tapa, you cannot do all this. He forbid it. As the Kali Yuga progresses, dear devotees, I am telling you that we will not be able to freely chant in public. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. We cannot chant. Right now we can chant and boast, we can do Sankirtan on the streets, nobody stops. Everybody joins, but in future, this is expected. So better to chant now and go back. So this, in case of King Vena, he was not allowing to do that. So what did Brahmana do? Instead of coming under his rule, they chanted mantra and they killed King Vena because very impious. So we should not, as a Brahman, as a Vaishnava, we should not just come under leadership which is impious just to please them or out of fear and things like that. That is not something we should do. We can see the Brahman quality is very, very high. We should try to live to that position. Always think about that. Okay, so we'll come back to this verse now, 23. So yeah, so we talked about the diminish the burden of the earth. And Prabhupada writes finally that simply by remembering such activities, one can defy the pleasure derived from nirvana and reach the transcendental abode of the Lord to associate with him, eternally engage in his blissful, loving services. This is what we should do. We should try to go back and just serve Krishna. There is no anxiety there. Whatever problem that we saw, none of the problem exists in Golok Vrindavan. None of this problem. It's all blissful, all bliss. Right? Yes. Yes, Rishit.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare.
Rishit has asked me to study.
Okay. All right.
I love it, Prabhuji. Yadvambate bhuri bharavatara kritavatara hare dharitri antarhitasya smrati vishrishta कर्माणि निर्वाणी अवलंबितानि। प्रभु जी ये तो हम लोग पढ़ चुके हैं ना?
हाँ, अभी उसके ऊपर डिस्कस चल रहा है। आपको पढ़ना है तो विल गो नेक्स्ट। चलिए यहाँ जा ही रहे हम लोग। प्लीज रीड दिस वर्स।
अच्छा प्रभु जी।
In the same way, same way.
हरे कृष्णा।
हरे कृष्ण।
इदं ममाच शवतवाधिमूलम् वसुन्धरे येन विकार्षतासि कालेन वाते बलिनां बलिस्य सुचर्तं किम हृतं सौभगम। गलत हो गया प्रभु जी थोड़ा, फिर से।
ये यही था, यहाँ तक ही था।
अच्छा यहीं तक ही था। अच्छा अच्छा।
थोड़ा
कालेन वाते बलिनां बलिस्य सुराचिरतं किम हृतम् अम्ब सौभगम।
Yes. Please read translation. You can read translation.
Mother, you are the reservoir of all riches. Please inform me of the root cause of your tribulations by which you have been reduced to such a weak state. I think that the powerful influence of time, which conquers the most powerful, might have forcibly taken away all your fortune which was adored. प्रभु जी नीचे और कुछ है क्या प्रभु जी?
Adored even by the demigods.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I cannot see that, Prabhuji. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. So, basically saying, question is, why have you reduced to this state, right? And it's like forcibly somebody takes away all the fortunes and all that. Very nice. Fortunes and all that. That's why you're feeling like that, So the hint is here is that, we should understand that when the Lord descends, the earth become enriched with all the opulences. And then when the pious king is ruling, at that time also, the earth is very much enriched with a lot of things. We heard in the past time of when the Yudhishthira Maharaj became the king of Hastinapur after the war, what happened? Everywhere there was a lot of prosperity. Grains were growing in abundance, rains were falling in time to time, no problem with that. Everything was so good. So when you have the lordship or his representative in form of a king, like Rajarishi is there, then everything becomes very, very auspicious. But now it is all going, Kali Yuga is coming. Kali Yuga coming, the symptoms of Kali Yuga are going to force all the symptoms on the general populace. And all is going to deteriorate and further degrade. So let's see what Srila Prabhupada says in the purport. By the grace of the Lord, each and every planet is created fully equipped. See, everywhere, everything is there in abundance. We feel, oh, this is not growing, nothing of that. Everything is there. But the way it is managed, the mismanagement of people is causing scarcity of food and grains and milk and all this thing in various places. Otherwise, there is abundance. Things are enough for everyone. So not only in this earth, fully equipped with all the riches for the maintenance of its inhabitants, but also when the Lord descends on the earth, the whole earth becomes so enriched with all kinds of opulences that even the denizens of heaven worship with all affection. But by the will of the Lord, the whole earth can at once be changed. He can do and undo things by his sweet will. Therefore, one should consider himself to be self-sufficient or independent of the Lord. No one should consider. I mean, we should not think that I can manage on my own. No. Nobody can think that I am independent, I can do anything on my own. I have money, so I can buy. No, what will you do? If there's a drought, what will $1 million do? Nothing will do. You will still wait for that one morsel of food, grain. So we should never think that we are independent of the Lord or we can do things on our own, we can manage because we got a lot of money, power. No, nothing of this sort will work. There are people who are millionaires, they have become bankrupt and now they are completely homeless. There are people like that. So what to do? There are people who are very rich and famous, they committed suicide because they couldn't take, they thought, oh, I'm the self-made man, nobody can beat me. But what are their life? Full of miseries. These are the symptoms of Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga, all this is going to rise and rise and rise. Therefore, it is advised by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, we all are able to come together, read, chant, understand the discussion which we are doing, so that we become fixed up in our sadhana, so that we can go back to God in this life. We all should make that attempt in this lifetime so we can go back. Our goal should be only that, that should be very topmost goal of our life, that I want to go back. Then what to do to achieve that? We have to write down. Okay, I have to chant 16 rounds, follow the principles, regulatory principles, eat only prasad, do the Mangalarti, whatever. These are the details. But our goal should be very clear that I want to go back. And that should be our daily meditation. Am I making attempt to go there? Did I miss to progress toward my goal today? If you don't have those kind of measurement, if you are not asking this question, tough questions to ourselves, then that's going to be difficult to go achieve that goal. Every day we should ask, every day, did I move one step closer to my goal? Like we all have goals in our office, in corporate world, and we keep measuring. And at the end of the year, when we have to get bonus or promotion, we all have to write down what did we do. Because Krishna is not asking, our Guru Maharaj is not asking all these things, but we should have this thing from our side. And what did I do? Did I read Bhagavad Gita very nicely? Am I able to remember the verses? Am I able to do the arati? Am I chanting my rounds very sincerely? Am I following the 4 regular principles very clearly? Am I eating only prasad? Or I fell down to when there is a sweet coming in, I just go for it. All these questions should be asked. Then we can avoid this temptation which comes in our mind. See, we have to deal with the temptation. Temptations are the one which, which is hindrance in our progress. This stops us. Small temptations. Once His Holiness Kadam Kanan Maharaj was asked, Maharaj, how do you feel after coming in Krishna consciousness? He told that before coming in Krishna consciousness, I messed up a lot of things in my life. But after coming in Krishna consciousness, not a single time. This is the commitment that he has given. He is not from India, he is not from a spiritual background. But still, he is from Germany, from a musical background. His family is musicians. He comes from there and then he becomes a wonderful Vaishnava. How? Just because he gave his full surrender to Krishna and Srila Prabhupada. Similarly, we also have to surrender completely to Krishna, completely to Srila Prabhupada, and see the miracles will happen in our life. The miseries will keep coming, they will not go away. Because we are in Kali Yuga, they will come. Dukkhalaya Shvasatam. Why worry about that? In fact, we should become more intense when such thing happens. Okay. All right, so we'll pause here and we'll continue because now the Dharani, that is the cow, will start speaking, and which has got many verses. So we'll stop here and we'll start the response of the cow in the next class. Okay. So thank you very much, dear devotees, for your association. Very, very grateful to all of you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu.
So anybody has any comment, any question, correction? Hare Krishna.